Alright, we're going to have a look at the Pareto criterion for microeconomics, which basically talks about the efficiency of the allocation of resources. We're going to have a look at an example from the core textbook from Unit 4. So first, defining the Pareto criterion. According to the Pareto criterion, allocation A dominates allocation B if at least one party would be better off with A than B, and nobody would be worse off. So that basically means both people get a higher payoff than the other point. So if we have a look at the graph, we'd see that point TT, which implies that both farmers are using Terminator, which pollutes the other person's field. When they're both using Terminator, the payoff for each is 2, which is objectively worse than if both were using IPC, which is demonstrated by point II. So we would say that point II Pareto dominates point TT because it's objectively better. The payoff for II is 3 each to each farmer, whereas the payoff for TT is 2 each for each farmer. So that's it for Pareto domination. However, we also have another aspect of Pareto's law where you can have points be Pareto efficient. What does that mean? Pareto efficient is when an allocation with the property that there is no alternative technically feasible allocation in which at least one person would be better off and nobody worse off. Basically, if an allocation is not Pareto dominated, like the Terminator IPC examples, so demonstrated by points IT and TI, then it is Pareto efficient, because although it's not better off for both parties, it's better off for at least one of the parties. So if we have a look at point TI, the payoff to Anil is 4, whereas the payoff to Bala is 1. So that's objectively better off for Anil, but it's not better off for Bala. Now, we can't say which is a more efficient allocation of resources, II, TI, or IT, because that's relative. However, we can say that IT is Pareto efficient to II, and TI is Pareto efficient to II, and that basically goes for all of them, except for TT, which has been Pareto dominated by II. So, just to recap, we can say that II Pareto dominates point TT as it's objectively better in both cases. However, we can also say that point TI is Pareto efficient, and so is point IT to II. So, a basic summary of Pareto efficiency.